Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our security webinar. We might just wait a couple more minutes for more attendees, and then we'll get started. A few more coming in now. It's great. Excellent. We've just got a few people coming in. I'll just admit all these people, and then we'll get started in a minute. All right, we might kick things off. So thank you everyone for joining us, and welcome to our cybersecurity awareness webinar. My name is Glenn Mason. I am an account manager from Canon Business Services, and here to host the session today. Now, I hope you all received your Uber Eats vouchers via email. Hopefully you've been able to utilize those for a nice meal or drink while you listen to some of our team go through our security awareness webinar. Just letting you know, this is an open forum for discussion, so please feel free to ask any questions in the chat function, and we'll get those out into the open so everyone can discuss. A few housekeeping things as per the slide on deck. Hopefully you can all see the slide. You've all got your cameras off, which is great. We're all on mute, which is excellent. As I just mentioned, we'll answer any questions in the chat function. We are recording the session, but we won't send it out. If you do want the slides, please request at the end. The Chatham House rules also apply. So we want a nice open forum where everyone can ask what they like and discuss. So without further ado, I will start handing over to our presenters today. We have Sharad Pandey, who's a security architect from our New South Wales branch, and Emerald Kaiser, security architect from our Victorian branch. So I will hand over now to Sharad to start us off.
Morning, everyone. Thanks, Glenn. My name is Sharad, and I hope you all are having a wonderful day so far. So today's agenda is to talk about the top trends in cybersecurity, what's stopping us from successful rollout of cybersecurity awareness program, how humans sometimes can be a problem in this, the importance of cybersecurity culture, and how CBS capabilities can help you out. And please feel free to ask your questions via chat as we're going through the presentation. Before I proceed to talk about cyber trend, I would like to take an opportunity to ask you all a question in my next slide. I would give you all about 15 seconds to answer. Please reply in your chat window. Again, it's a tricky question, so please be mindful of that. So here's the question.
Time's up.
So I don't know if anyone has got the answer or not, but what you see here is I was trying to distract you and mislead you. I'm quite sure you all must be focusing on the URL, but the problem was not there. Problem was not on the URL. It was basically a distraction from where I want you to not look at. This is more or less what a phishing is all about. So this is what I wanted to bring to your attention. Social engineering is all about distraction and misdirection. So be careful of unknown senders, the URL that you get, and especially the attachments that you might get with those emails. Here you can see about 37% of all our data breaches resulted from cybersecurity incident. What you can see, almost about 75% of breaches happen due to phishing, ransomware, and compromised or stolen credential combined. Most of the sources of these data breaches were either malicious or criminal attack, or human errors followed by system fault. The top 3 causes of human error breaches was due to personal information emailed to the wrong person, released unintended documents, software without following the proper process or policies, and the last one, which is the loss of important printed documents or personal devices like laptop, USBs, phones, etc. In this slide, you can see which industry is mainly targeted. Healthcare is one of the main one, followed by financial and closely followed by legal accounting industry. Here you can see what kind of information is mainly compromised and stolen from various organizations. And also for your information, it takes about an average 250 days to identify the threats and another 50 days on average to contain a breach. So lots of companies at this moment might not even know that they have been compromised. Why cybersecurity matters? An increasing number of organizations are being seriously impacted by cybersecurity incident, perhaps by phishing attempt or steal money or passwords or ransomware attack that encrypts files preventing access. But why? Many cybersecurity incidents are untargeted. They can affect any organization that does not have basic level of protection. Organizations hold plenty of sensitive information. For example, organization records, customer payment information, personal details, and password. All this must be kept safe and confidential. Cybercriminal wants to make money, so they understand that an organization information is often quite important to that organization and that they might be prepared to pay a ransomware to get it back. Also keep in mind that there is no guarantee after an organization make the payment, they will get the data back or it would not end up in deep dark web. Who is behind the cyber attacks? Online criminals are really good at identifying what can be monetized. For example, stealing and selling sensitive data or holding systems and information to ransomware. Hackers, individuals with varying degrees of expertise, often acting as an untargeted way, perhaps to test their own skills or cause disruption for the sake of it. Malicious insider use their access to an organization data or network to conduct malicious activities, such as stealing sensitive information to share with competitors. And an honest mistake, sometimes our own staff, with the best intention, just makes a mistake. After all, we are humans. For example, emailing something sensitive to a wrong email address. Here are the top 3 trends we are seeing, and it's in no particular order. Phishing. Today's there are a lot of a lot of types of phishing techniques used, but mainly it consists of spear phishing, veiling emails, smishing, which is basically phishing via a text message on mobile devices. Vishing, which is basically impersonating senior leadership via phone, is used as a vehicle of attack to request sensitive data from employees. Ransomware. It can target any organization regardless of its size or industry. Consider what your organization possesses that can make you a target, including sensitive customer data, financial data, your IP. Remember, protecting your organization data is protecting your customers' data. Insider's risk. Do you know why insider risk or threats are on the rise? It's quite simple. Attack surfaces are getting increased due to increasing number of devices with access to sensitive data leaving the network perimeter via mobile devices and web access, lack of employee, contractors, partners, awareness trainings, insufficient data protection strategies or solution, single person doing multiple roles and not following separation or segregation of duty. Password policies are not enforced, and same username and passwords are used in multiple sites, including for work as well as for personal stuff. With all these extra changes in your environment is adding more challenges, like technology is becoming more complex, more employees, contractors, partner have your access to your network, increased use of cloud apps and infrastructure. As highlighted you before, phishing is to do with distraction and misdirection. Scanners will fool you in order to make you do something that they want. There are 7 popular types of phishing scams you should be aware of. First is email phishing. Here you can see a it's a quite genuine looking email you may have received. It could be an email from your bank or your company senior management. So you need to look out for sender's email, immediate action, kind of something they want you to do immediately, or the link in the form of tiny URL that you cannot really see. Also look out for spelling mistakes and formatting of those emails. Spear or whale phishing scams. The difference between whaling and spear phishing is that whaling exclusively targets high ranking individuals within an organization, while spear phishing is usually goes after a category of individual with a lower profile, like your system administrators or network administrators. This is where our hackers have targeted you and researched you via social media or via some extreme cases, which is dumpster diving. So what is dumpster diving? Dumpster diving is investigating a person or business trash to find information that can use to attack a computer network. Dumpster divers locate financial statement, government records, medical bills, resumes, and simply going through exploring the victim's rubbish. Smish scams. They are text messages, phishing scams. So be very careful of clicking on any link on your phone or tablets from any unknown person. Google search. Well, you would be surprised to know that sometimes phishing can be done through popular search engines. So be very careful when you're browsing and searching on a company and what comes up on the searches. Look out for company sites and do not click on ad sites where you might have ads.google.com, something like that. That is where you might actually get redirected to a fake site where the company or you can be compromised. Social media scams. So be careful of the requests you receive from lookalike friends because they can mislead your friends and compromise your personal details. Also, this can happen when a scammer steals a username password through a data breach, phishing or malware. Scammers use the hacker's profile to contact the person's friends and families to ask for money or to promote a link to a fraudulent site, which is owned by them. QR code. QR code scams are on the rise nowadays. Does anyone know what QR in QR code means? Well, it stands for a quick response. Originally, it was designed in Japan for automotive industry, but over time, the use have changed, hopefully for good. QR code is like the one that you see on the screen. You need to be careful what you are looking at on the tiny URL because, what you're seeing on the QR code might not be related to the URL of the company's site. So be very careful of that. Other examples where you could be impacted is parking meters and other contactless payments. It has happened to me in Sydney, but luckily I picked up before I provided my credit card details. Tampered QR codes in restaurants like this one, fake QR codes sent through the emails, or fake QR code scanners apps that can download malware on your computer or your PC or phone. Phishing scam. Phishing or voice phishing is the use of fraudulent phone calls to trick people into giving money or revealing personal information. It's a new for the old problem. Telephone scams back in the days. Phishing frequently involves a criminal pretending to be a represented from a trusted institution or company or a government agency. How do you protect from phishing? Basically, stop and think before you click on any links or opening any attachments. If things look fishy, verify with the sender through a different medium. When in doubt, discard it. You are the last line of defense. How to avoid ransomware? What to look out for and become a victim of ransomware? Don't download files from random sites or any download shareware or freeware apps or softwares. Be careful of phishing emails or techniques. Take regular backups and try to ensure it's offline and off-site. Keep your system and application up to date. Use complex passwords. Don't save on paper or text file, and use MFA wherever possible. Managing human risk is a people's problem. For the past few years, the findings have reinforced that to effectively manage human risk, people are also the solution. A dedicated and sufficiently large security awareness team is the key to manage and measure the maturity. High impact security awareness program. Few of the top challenges in successful rolling out security awareness programs are limit on training time provided on each employees, lack of time for program management, lack of staffing, inability to engage employee, lack of budget, etc. I would like to hand over to my colleague Emerald to talk about the importance of cyber culture and how CBS capabilities can help you out to address these issues. Over to you, Emerald.
Thank you, Sharad. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emerald Kaiser, and happy Friday. There is a never dull moment in the world of cybersecurity. A new day, a new bridge somewhere in this world. Prior to this webinar, I received an email regarding the latest cyber attack in Australia. A large startup management firm has become the latest Australian company to fall victim to a ransomware attack, demanding approximately $400,000 for their data. My question is, why are there so many cybersecurity incidents? Anyone can share some ideas? Anyone from the audience? Okay. So, does politics, money? Great. Good answer. That is true. Inflation is going up. Thank you. Thank you for the answer. So, the cyber incident starts with for fun. That is true. That for fun. Yep. Thank you. So, the cyber incident starts with human involvement and human error. Let's see how human errors can affect us and why cyber culture is important. Clicking on a suspicious email can lead to unauthorized change in the system, allowing everyone from outside to a corporate network without verifying their ID. That's a mistake. That's a misconfiguration. These activities create vulnerabilities attract motivated, unauthorized people. The person can be an internal employee, a service provider, a criminal, or it can be a teenager who wants to practice his or her cybersecurity skills. An unauthorized person can exploit the vulnerability and extract the sensitive data. Once the cyber criminals expose the information, we get apology emails from large organizations that inform us how sorry they are. Our license and credit card details are for sale on the dark web. A major telecom in Australia was breached due to a human error this year. People are still struggling to change their driving license. I believe some of us in this webinar are still waiting for a new license. People are canceling their credit cards. People used a single credit card to pay their utility bills, grocery, health insurance, list goes on. Now, they must cancel their credit cards and provide a new credit card to service providers. It's a time-consuming, and in some cases, not pleasant at all. A venture capital, well-funded, they had a large IT and security team, was breached through clicking phishing emails in 2021, affected their customers, employees, and then a cybersecurity firm, famous for high-profile cyber incidents around the world, was breached in 2020. Cybersecurity firms' IT department perhaps forgot or neglected known vulnerabilities inside the system. As a result, security breach. Hackers entered cybersecurity firms' network, stole sophisticated security tools, and they utilized those tools to launch cyber attacks on government entities around the world. The company lost significant amount of money and, of course, reputation. Human error can be solved through proper knowledge and well-established cyber culture. In the next slide, let's see why cyber culture is important and how can we build it. We have all heard about cybersecurity awareness training. Organization brought cybersecurity awareness platform to educate their employees, and that's a good initiative. Now, the question is, did it stop any employee from making a mistake while they're using technology? If we look our news feeds, social media, it seems like cybersecurity awareness training is not enough. You might have a question, what else do we need? We need a culture to fight against cyber criminals. We need a culture to educate employees who are managing our sensitive information. We need a culture to protect people, data, privacy, and reputation. A security culture is more than just cybersecurity awareness training. Human errors will be reduced if there is a culture in which security is always prioritized. So where can we start to build a culture? Let's see in the next slide. There are some practical elements that organization can take to develop a strong security culture. Start with mindset of people. It is not an easy task, but achievable. Employees should know how and understand the security issues. Companies should arrange more workshops and training on cybersecurity for their employees, not just once a year. Managers should bring cyber-related topics up with their team members when it's possible. It doesn't have to be an hour-long meeting. It can be a small talk before starting their usual meetings, perhaps asking a question about latest cyber attack. People should use cybersecurity practice in daily life, whether it's at work or at home. Employees must not exchange information such a way that might lead to a breach. For an example, sending an Excel file contains customer-sensitive information to another person without proper password protection and encryption. Please keep your device locked and safe while you're not using the assets. Knowledge is power. Cognition is about employees' cybersecurity understanding and awareness. Without proper knowledge, it is not possible for an organization to fight against cyber criminals. We all know communication is key to success. The company should review and verify the effectiveness of internal and external communication channels for cybersecurity. An employee should feel comfortable reporting a cyber incident when it's required. Everyone shares cyber responsibilities. It's a simple fact that cybersecurity affects everyone. It's not just a single entity or single person. It affects everyone. If just one computer is hacked, it can lead to millions of compromised accounts. And everyone has the responsibility to build a cyber culture. People in the organization should understand their role and responsibility when they're using corporate asset and data. Now, organization can start with these 5 elements and see what their status is. They should analyze the gap, create and implement a guideline that will help them to build a stronger cybersecurity culture. Cyber culture will not change overnight, but with proper knowledge, training, and practice, it is achievable. Next slide, please. Thank you, Shara. In this presentation, we talked about top 3 cybersecurity threats: ransomware, phishing, and insider threats, which are disrupting our daily life. Companies are losing money and reputation. In addition to that, we saw real-life issues when it comes to managing human risk. Last but not least, we have discussed the importance of cybersecurity culture and what factors should be included in cyber culture. Now, to avoid unexpected incidents, companies should review and assess their cybersecurity program. Multi-factor authentication should be used where it's possible. Before clicking on a link, please take a moment, check the URL. Any doubt, please contact your IT department. Sensitive data must be encrypted and provide access to only authorized person. Next slide, please. In this session, I would like to discuss CBS cybersecurity capability and how we can help. Next slide, please. Thank you. We have a range of cyber capabilities. Our engineers, consultants, and architects are experienced and certified to solve customers' problems. We assist our customer to achieve security roadmap, frameworks such as ISO 27001, regulatory compliance requirements such as APRA CPS 234. CBS is one of the influential organizations in Australia when it comes to Microsoft security solution. We provide security workshops for our customers all over Australia. In the workshop, we discuss customers' requirements, issues, and how we can work together to achieve customer goals. Next slide, please. Thank you. CBS Insight. CBS has a wonderful collection of articles and case study, which I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry. CBS, anybody was asking any question? No? All right. CBS has wonderful collection of articles and case studies which publicly available. We encourage you to visit Canon Insights, and you can find a list of articles including cybersecurity related publications. I hope we have shared some useful information with you. Please feel free to ask any question you may have. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. And that concludes our session. Any question, any answer?
Excellent. Thank you, Emerald. Thank you, Sharad. Appreciate your time. Do we have any questions from the audience? Please in the chat function. There we go. What is the biggest challenge for organizations to stay on top of new trends in cyber attacks? Sharad or Emerald?
So, hi, this is Sharad. Sorry, Basically, from my point of view, the biggest challenges an organization, I reckon, has, they don't know what their threats are. They don't know what's a cybersecurity attack surface area looks like. They don't know what to do to build those controls. Their budget, they have no idea, okay, how much budget they need to build its cybersecurity awareness, or not just awareness, about the various security controls to protect the data, what data they have, who have access to what. All these other aspects, lots of organizations don't know. Just by having an antivirus and a firewall and things like that does not mean that you have enough protection to protect from the newer generation threats that nowadays out there.
And I would like to add to that, what we can see from our customers, that most of the organizations, they don't have the visibility what's happening. This is number one. Number two, lack of proactiveness. Customers are not taking initiative to find the vulnerabilities or detect the threat in real time. So these are the problems.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. Any further questions in the chat from anyone in the audience? Oh, great. Thanks, Travis. What is the best way to stop an attack early and avoid a large-scale breach?
Hi, Travis. A good question, actually. It's one of those things that I would say you need to know what you are actually monitoring, what your attack surface looks like. So a lot of organizations, as I was highlighting, don't know what their attack surface area is, what controls they have, what data they have, and who have access to what data. So you can build all the fancy security controls in your network, but if you are not monitoring those controls proactively, why, I'm not saying that it has to be done straight away, but you need to understand that security event monitoring is as critical as building those security controls. No point having controls when it's not being monitored. You might as well not have it then. That's how bad it is. I hope I answer your question, Travis.
And I would like to add something on that one, Travis, that you need to think like you are already under attack. So the access and the connection should be verified before we grant the access.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. Question from Vincent. What is the difference between a good and bad security awareness program?
Let's start with the bad one. So yeah, let's say we have security awareness program. When we enter the company, we get a portal, we click in next. That's it, and we forget everything. We don't remember anything. We don't comply with anything. Then we upload our customer sensitive data to our personal OneDrive, and that got hacked. And then list goes on. The good awareness program will be, yes, the portal is one part. Then put in practice. The managers should be involved in the program. High level managers, CEO, they should be involved in the program, and ensure that people, they don't do mistake, they learn something, they test periodically. And as I said in my presentation, that more workshop with the employees to keep them update. And the final thing is that make them realize that they are part of this company and they have the responsibility in terms of security.
And I'd like to add one thing, Vincent, there, that just keep in mind the security awareness program is for getting humans a little more aware of security threats and everything and what they should and shouldn't do it. So as your organization is changing and growing, and you're changing, obviously employees are coming in and going out, you need to make sure none of these people are actually clicking on any mails, or they're basically aware of what social engineering is all about. They're not doing something which could cause a problem to the company. Their intention might not be, but they need to know what they are doing, and they needs to take responsibility. And responsibility does not just start with IT team, it's across the whole business. Everyone is responsible for taking care of the security in the organization.
Thanks, guys. We've got a question here from Murray. How do I know if my environment is secure?
Well, Murray,
There is no silver bullet, I would say.
Correct.
Go on, Sharad.
It is actually, it is, you just need to understand there is no, if anyone says we can secure you completely, that's a lie. It's just a matter of when you will be attacked. So you need to be preparing. If things go wrong, how do you contain it? How do you minimize the impact, and how do you restore back to the original position before the attack? And what do you learn out of it so that this does not happen? So everyone is going to get compromised one day or tomorrow. You just need to have enough controls and the process and policies in place to make sure you can contain it.
Great. Thanks, Sharad. Vincent's got another question here. Can you expand on what positive reinforcement is and why is it important?
Vincent, I couldn't, unless, Vincent, can you rephrase your questions? I'm not sure what you meant by positive reinforcement. In what context?
Sure, no worries. In terms of rewarding employees for good behavior.
Oh, okay. Actually, no one has ever asked me that question before, so I don't know actually. Obviously, I think so. I'm speechless there. Emerald, do you know there?
Oh, I couldn't hear the question. Could you please repeat?
Yeah, sure, no worries. So how do we reward employees for good behavior in terms of cybersecurity?
Right, rewarding people good behavior. Let's say one of your employees spotted an email, right? It's a phishing, and so that person informed your cybersecurity team. And if you, let's say, if you are a manager in your, let's say, monthly meeting or weekly meeting, you can tell to your team or other people that there was an incident and that specific employee has spotted this thing and it's saved us from spear phishing attack, and acknowledge his or her contribution. Does it make sense?
Yep.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Vincent. We had some good points here. Carl mentioned that onboarding workshops for new users is an important part as well. Did you guys want to discuss that at all?
So, Carl, I think so you're referring as when a new employee is joining the organization. So, so they are definitely as part of, as I earlier highlighted, as part of the good and the bad security awareness program, that as the new employees are coming in, we need to make sure that they are compliance point of view, we get them to do a compulsory trainings as part of onboarding them. So they have to do within a month or so. But again, that has to be regularly updated. The content needs to be updated. And obviously that content has to be every year or quarterly or whatever. I have never seen an organization doing quarterly, but at least I've seen few organizations do half yearly or annually. A lot of organizations do that. So they have to do those trainings again to make sure that they are aware of those issues or the updated issues that's happening in the market.
Thanks, Sharad. And Rob made a good point here as well that to make security part of the business continuity plan as well, right? To make sure the processes are in place. Did you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, so basically when you do get compromised via cyber incident, basically you need to know, as part of your BCP and DR policy, you need to know what is your critical or crown jewel applications are. That can actually, if that goes down, your business is heavily impacted. So you need to know, as part of your BCP, if your business is impacted or your main head office or your data center is gone down, how you can actually get those applications up and running in a means of, it could be an offsite site, could be another public cloud, could be any of those instances, but you need to have a BCP plan highlighting how we're going to get those applications up and running in a matter of, depending whatever the your SLA might be for that.
And I would like to add that the plan should be tested. People shouldn't forget, set the plan and forget. No, they should test it on a regular basis.
Yeah, excellent. Do we have any other further questions out there? Or any feedback? No, no more? Okay. Well, we might wrap up the session. Appreciate it, Sharad and Emerald. Thank you very much for your insights. I hope that's helped everyone with a few ideas and things to think about with your security. Please feel free to reach out to CBS, Canon Business Services, if you do have any further questions. We're always happy to help. And I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend. See ya.
Thanks.